Have you ever wondered what secrets lie buried under our feet? The ancient world is not as distant as you might think. It speaks to us through forgotten objects and mysterious ruins. Imagine this. In ancient Rome, people used a special kind of purple dye that was worth more than gold. This dye came from tiny sea snails, and thousands of them were needed to make just a small amount of color. Only the emperor and the most powerful people could wear this royal purple. It was a symbol of incredible status and power, a color that shouted wealth without saying a word. This single fact opens a window into a world of luxury trade social rules that are so different from our own, yet so human. The stories from our past are like pieces of a giant puzzle. Each one helps us see a clearer picture of who we are and where we came from. We often think of history as just a list of dates and kings, but it is so much more than that. It is a collection of human experiences, love, war, invention, art. In this journey, we will uncover some of the most mind-blowing facts from ancient civilizations. We will travel back in time to see things that will surprise and amaze you. When we think of ancient Egypt, we picture giant pyramids and golden masks. But the Egyptians had many other amazing skills. For example, they were expert doctors. They could perform complex surgeries and even had a form of brain surgery. They wrote down their medical knowledge on papyrus scrolls, creating some of the world's first medical books. The Egyptians also had a very interesting relationship with animals. They didn't just keep them as pets, they worshipped them as gods. Cats were especially sacred. The goddess Bastet was shown with the head of a cat, and people believed that cats brought good fortune to their homes. If a family's cat died, they would shave their eyebrows as a sign of mourning. Killing a cat, even by accident, was a very serious crime that could be punished by death. They even mummified millions of cats and other animals, burying them in special cemeteries. Another surprising fact is that both men and women in ancient Egypt wore makeup. It wasn't just for beauty, it also had practical and magical purposes. They used black coal to line their eyes, which helped to protect them from the harsh sun's glare and keep away flies. They also believed the makeup had healing powers and could ward off evil spirits and protect against eye infections. Finally, the Egyptians created one of the world's first police forces. While we might imagine a lawless ancient world, the pharaohs understood the need for order. This organized system of law enforcement shows that the Egyptians were building a complex and well-run society, not just incredible monuments. The Roman Empire was famous for its powerful army and its vast roads. But one of its greatest secrets was a special kind of concrete. This Roman concrete was incredibly strong and durable. In fact, it was so good that many Roman structures, like the Pantheon in Rome, are still standing perfectly today after almost 2,000 years. The secret ingredient was volcanic ash. When mixed with lime and seawater, it created a material that actually became stronger over time, especially underwater. Beyond their engineering genius, the Romans had some very peculiar habits. For instance, they were obsessed with cleanliness and spent hours at public bathhouses. These were not just places to get clean, they were social hubs. People went there to exercise, meet friends, conduct business, and relax. But their idea of cleaning was different from ours. Instead of soap, they would rub olive oil on their skin and then scrape it off with a special tool called a strigil. This process removed dirt and dead skin. The Romans also had a unique approach to beauty and fashion. Like the Egyptians, both men and women used cosmetics. Wealthy women would whiten their faces with powders made from chalk or, more dangerously, white lead. They used red ochre for blush and soot to darken their eyebrows. But perhaps the most surprising thing was their love for blonde hair. Since most Romans had dark hair, blonde hair was seen as exotic and attractive, often associated with people from Gaul and Germany. Wealthy Roman women would wear expensive wigs made from the hair of captured foreign women to achieve this fashionable look. Finally, let's talk about Roman entertainment. We all know about the gladiators in the Colosseum, but the Romans also loved chariot racing. These races were held in enormous stadiums called circuses, with the Circus Maximus in Rome being the largest. It could hold over 150,000 spectators, more than most modern sports stadiums. The chariot drivers were huge celebrities like today's top athletes. They belonged to different teams, identified by colors like red, white, blue, and green. The fans were incredibly passionate and would often riot if their team lost. Ancient Greece is known as the birthplace of democracy and philosophy. Great thinkers like Socrates, Plato, Aristotle asked big questions about life, justice, knowledge. But the Greeks also had some very unusual laws and customs. In ancient Athens, for example, they had a process called ostracism. Once a year, citizens could vote to banish any politician for 10 years. They would write the name on a piece of broken pottery called an ostracon. This was their way of protecting democracy from anyone who might become too powerful or tyrannical. The Greeks are also famous for creating the Olympic Games. These games were a religious festival held in honor of Zeus. Athletes from all over the Greek world would come to compete. But here is a surprising fact. All the athletes competed completely naked. This was done to show off their physical fitness and as a tribute to the gods. Married women were not allowed to even watch the games. The winners did not receive gold medals. Instead, they were given a simple crown made from olive leaves. But when they returned to their home cities, they were treated like heroes and given great rewards. Beyond the big cities of Athens and Sparta, daily life in ancient Greece was full of interesting beliefs. They were very superstitious. For instance, they believed that sneezing was a sign from the gods. A sneeze at the right moment could mean that a plan would be successful. The Greeks were also innovators in theater. They invented the concept of tragedy comedy, and their plays are still performed today. All the actors were men and they wore large masks to show which character they were playing. The masks had exaggerated expressions for happiness, sadness, so even people sitting far away could understand the emotions. As we have seen, the ancient world is not a dusty, forgotten place. It is a vibrant tapestry woven with incredible stories of ingenuity, strange customs and profound ideas. From Egypt's doctor priests to Rome's enduring concrete, these civilizations were far more advanced and complex than we often imagine. They were not just building pyramids and temples, they were building the very foundations of our own world. The things they invented, the questions they asked, and the art they created continue to resonate with us today, thousands of years later. Their lives were filled with details that feel both alien and surprisingly familiar. The relevance of these ancient facts goes beyond simple curiosity. When we learn that the Greeks had a system to vote out powerful leaders, we see an early attempt to balance power, a challenge we still face in our democracies today. When we discover that the Romans had public baths that served as community centers, it reminds us of the timeless human need for connection in social spaces. These stories teach us about human nature itself. They show us our capacity for brilliance, our love of beauty, our fear of the unknown, and our constant drive to create order and meaning in the world. Therefore, I encourage you to keep exploring. This journey into a few mind-blowing facts is just the beginning. Let your curiosity be your guide. The past is not over, it is alive within us, waiting for us to listen.